video instead of a typical blog post this time. I found that I was procrastinating on doing this topic even though I have been excited about it for some time, and I think it's because it just wasn't coming out in typed word very well. I don't know why. It was like lengthy and just not very eloquent or succinct. So I thought that this might be a better format for it. And the topic is a challenge that I have issued to myself. This challenge is kind of a culmination of the past couple years as me and my husband have kind of moved from maybe a more conventional and consumeristic mentality towards one that focuses more on natural, organic, sustainable, holistic living. So that has kind of brought me to where I am now, but also a huge catalyst for it was watching a documentary on Netflix called Minimalism, and just becoming increasingly aware of the consumeristic mentality that we're kind of conditioned to have and that society has, and wanting to break away from that towards a more sustainable way of living. And one of the reasons for that is just budget friendly, like cloth diapers versus disposable, even though right now we're back to disposable because with morning sickness all day, it has been really difficult for me to contemplate taking care of cloth diapers, but hoping to go back to that eventually, especially once the new baby comes. And not only does that eliminate a lot of waste, but it also eliminates all the purchasing of disposable diapers that you're basically then just throwing away. So it's a budget friendly tool as well. So a lot of those things, they kind of go along with the being budget conscious. We don't use paper towels anymore. We don't use disposable plates or utensils or napkins or anything like that. And these are all things that I would love to do blog posts about in the future. It's been really interesting to see those more sustainable habits that have been really, really easy to incorporate, and the ones that have been a little bit more difficult. And along the way, I've gleaned so much from other blogs and other people who have gone before me and, roughed it out and figured things out that then I can just get their wisdom and know what works and what doesn't work. And I've been able to figure out some of those things too. So I would love to share those one day. But back to my main topic. So that has been one reason why I've been moving towards trying to be more sustainable and stuff, is just the budget aspect of it. But then also just wanting to not fall into kind of that just consumeristic mentality, the one that just replaces. It's really hard to fathom the actual, consequences, I guess, when things are so cheap. We have so much for so cheap. You can go to a Walmart and get like a 99-cent spatula. So to you, it doesn't really seem like that big a deal. To me, I mean, I've done that a million times. You lose something, something breaks or, whatever, and you just go buy a new one because it's so cheap. But the actual impact, environmentally, depending on who manufactures it, where it's manufactured, all that kind of stuff goes into that. And having a mentality that's more wanting to use things, recycle them, repurpose them, that kind of thing is one that I think is very valuable and something that I've been thinking a lot about. So with that in mind, my challenge to myself is that I am not going to purchase anything new for a year. And obviously I don't mean food or the disposable diapers or anything like that. Nothing consumable am I discussing here, but I have definitely found before, because we do have to be budget conscious, we don't have a lot of extra money, that there have been times in the past where I will think, oh, I need this thing or I want this thing or whatever, and because we don't have the money, I can't buy it, so I wait. And then down the line, a week, maybe a month later, if I do have the opportunity to purchase it, I might find that I actually didn't really need it. Impulse buying is not only for just, going to the mall and spending stuff on frivolity, but I think can also be applied to even when you think you need something. If you're not able to get it right away, or if you take some time to consider, maybe you actually don't need it. Maybe there's something else that you can use that will serve that purpose. Maybe you can figure out a way around it. If you need something, obviously it's good to get it, but to kind of have more of a maybe stricter rules with yourself, I guess, on what qualifies a need. So that's something that I'm trying to be more aware of in my own life, and something that this challenge I think will help me in, because obviously if I can just go to Walmart and get something, then I don't have to put any time or thought or effort into that. Whereas if my goal is that I'm not going to be buying anything new, then I have to find one somewhere that's used, and that will take time, and possibly with all that effort realize that I don't actually need the thing in the first place. So that would be saving resources, obviously, if you don't even need it. But then also just the idea that, one man's trash is another man's treasure, and hoping that, with the different needs of different families and whatever, I'll be able to find those things that my family needs, and then also trying to hopefully share the things that we don't need. So I like shopping at stores like thrift stores, Goodwill, that kind of thing for clothes and stuff. There might be some items that I really wouldn't want to get at a Goodwill, or that I might prefer to find from friends or family that I know. So just trying to maybe create a community of, do you have something I need that I can have, provide you with something that maybe you need. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to look. I don't know how it's going to work. I just knew after watching that documentary, I thought it would be a very interesting challenge to myself. And if you watch the documentary, you might kind of understand a little bit more why I decided to do this in particular. But we're moving soon too, which I don't know about you, but I have a tendency to just shove stuff, it goes under the bed, it goes up in the closet or whatever. But kind of the amount of space it takes up, the stress, the burden of having to pack it each time you move, to look at it and know I need to do something with it, but I don't have the time, whatever. So I'm really trying to kind of purge and clean out and decide, evaluate what things do I need, what things don't I, trying to keep things that have more than one purpose, and trying to get rid of those things that only serve one purpose. So it kind of all goes in together, but I'm excited about this. The only caveat is that I am married, and I do not wish to cause contention in my marriage over this. So while my husband shares most of my ideals and is also passionate about a lot of these same things, there may be times where he really wants to purchase something or buy something that I would be okay without, or something like that. And if that happens, then I'm going to, like so many other areas in marriage, there's compromise. So that's kind of the caveat. But for myself personally, and the choices that I make, and I make a lot of the choices about household management, and kids and myself, obviously. So I think it'll be a little bit interesting to see kind of how that looks and what I'm able to find. I am needing to buy a lot of new clothes because I am pregnant and I don't really have very many clothes. I kind of brought a lot of clothes into my marriage with me from being a teenager, and so now if they're not thrown away because they're completely destroyed by now, I probably shouldn't be wearing them anymore because they're kind of dated and young and whatever. So I do need new clothes. I kind of want to update my wardrobe. I'm interested in capsule wardrobes and that whole idea too, so I'm kind of looking into that. But as I now also incorporate this challenge, I am not going to buy anything new, so it'll be interesting to see how much luck I find at thrift stores or online barter groups and that kind of thing. So anyway, yeah, that's my challenge. It would be awesome if you guys wanted to come alongside me in whatever capacity that looks like for you, and kind of maybe apply the idea of sustainability and recycling to some areas, to all areas, whatever. If you have any tips or tricks or awesome blogs to follow, that would be great. There are some zero waste blogs that I follow on online and on Instagram and stuff, and they constantly have really great ideas. That's where I found a lot of my information for some of the changes that I have already made. So yeah, share your ideas, share your own journey towards this, share any goals that you might have, and I'm going to be keeping track of this probably under its own special category on my blog, and so check out and look for updates in the future as I try to keep this goal. Thanks for watching!